Hello everyone, it's Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Sorry I am a few minutes late. We had some technology / printer issues. But I'm here now, so hopefully other people are here and we can get some crafting happening. Please excuse me for my croaky voice. I sound like Kermit the Frog. And no, I'm not going to sing Rainbow Connection. I'll just... Hi, Kerry. How are you? Thank you for watching. Okay. Oh, excuse me. As you can tell, I came home from backstage leader event with a croaky voice. So... I've tested myself and I haven't got COVID and I haven't got RSA or influenza A or B, and I was testing myself just about every day while I was over there, so fingers crossed it stays that way. But I do feel icky, but much better than I did 2 weeks ago. Hi Megan, thank you. Happy to be home. It's always nice to go away, but always nice to come home. Excuse my cough. All right. Well, because I'm a bit late, I can't print out things that I needed to, so we're just going to wing it a little bit. Now, in the meeting event or Facebook event, it had all the supplies you need, both in US and Australian, European measurements. So let's get started. So the whole purpose of mystery stamping, Steve just managed to print out our thing. So he's a good man, isn't he? He brings it up for me. How good is he? All right, let's just start. So you need, it's going to be a portrait card. You need a large sentiment stamp. So the one I'm using today is from the Gone Fishing stamp set, because in Australia it's Father's Day on Sunday. And although I do have a card that I made for my dad before I went away, I want to make a different one. And so I'm going to use the So Glad You're My Dad stamp set. The other thing you'll need is some small salt and pepper images. Now, salt and pepper images are those little images that you can use on a background. So it might be this one here, or it could be anything. So something that you could use that's small, fairly small. Okay, this one here is probably a little bit too big, but it's okay. It'll work for what I'm doing. And then if you want some other coordinating stamps, you can use those. All right. Have to not lift it up. All right. What else have we got watching? Hi, Jody. All right. If you're using, these are optional. If you're using some dies or a punch, you need to have those in your die cutting machine. Your coordinating stamp pads, you'll need those. Your cardstock. So the first piece of cardstock, so this is the Australian measurements, and this is 8 inches wide by 5 3/4 high. Okay, so just under half an A4 sheet. And as you know, I don't just cut my A4 sheets in half, because I like my layers to be a bit more precise. But if you want to just cut your A4 sheet in half, it will work for you. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Then you'll need a separate color. So this is this color is, I'll move it over here. I'm using a boho blue, and it's 6 inches by 4 inches. Okay, then you'll need same colour, but 3 by 4 inches. Now, the US measurements are a little bit different. So you've got, oh no, actually they're going to be the same. It's only the card base that's different and this layer. Then you'll need 2 pieces of white or vanilla. So I'm using vanilla, which I've got a bucket load of, and it matches the paper. And these are 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And I've made a mistake on that US one. They'll be the same size. So just ignore that typo there. Oh dear. And see, my brain fog is still here. So if you're watching, make sure you say hello. I can't see everyone who's watching. I can only see Kerry, Megan and Jodie are watching at the moment. Next thing that you're going to use is, oh, sorry, we'll go back to this, another piece of vanilla cardstock as well. And that's the 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I stuffed that up as well. But anyway, that's all right. We're then going to have some scrap pieces. All right. Hi, Belinda. Thanks for joining us. So the scrap pieces of them, we're having a designer series paper. So this is basically a 1/4 inch smaller, if I can get it the right way. 1/4 inch smaller than your normal card front size, okay? Then you'll just have another little piece as well. Then you need your embellishments and your ribbons, and you need a paper trimmer with a scoring blade or a simply scored. Okay, so today is a little bit different because we've had printer issues, so I'm going to do it on screen, which I don't like to do because the whole purpose is for you to use your stash and use your imagination about what the clues mean, but we're not doing that today. All right, so we're going to take our card base and you're going to use your trimmer. Put that the right way, Chrissy. Yeah, please put that the right way. And you're going, and I've already scored it. So you're going to score it. And I made a mistake when I scored it. So you're going to score it at 1 inch. I'll just do it again. See if I can fix it. All right. So, oh, I forgot to say, if everybody's ready, who's crafting along today? Like, is anyone crafting along? I hope someone's crafting along. Where's my buddy Glenda Lavender? You craft and Lynn Hall. Hope you're here. Can't see your comments, so can't see anyone's comments really. I know people are watching. So we're going to score it at 1 inch. Then move it along and score it at 2 inches. Okay. Oh, my blood pressure's a bit high today. Then we're going to score it again at 3 inches and 4 inches. Okay. That's pretty simple. So that's clue number 1. So if you're crafting along, just type done for clue number 1. Okay, then we'll keep your trimmer out and we will do the next step. Now I might be going too fast because I don't know who's crafting. While we're waiting for a couple of seconds for people to do that scoring, tell me how you are. Megan, how are you? And Jodie, how are you? And Belinda, like, how are you going? Because it's more fun if I can see your comments and you're talking to me. Let's see. No one's talking to me. I'm talking to an empty room. All right. So next step, we're going to take our biggest piece of our second coloured cardstock, which was 6 inches by 4 inches, no matter whether in the US or anywhere else in the world. And we're going to score it on the long side at the halfway mark, okay? I'm just going to give mine another bit of a score. So that's at 3 inches, okay? All right, so it's nicely scored, nice and crisp. All right, so we can put our trimmer away. Let's see. No messages. All right, so we just go. Oh, you're good. Of course you can mystery stamp me again. Oh, it's quite easy. Well, this time I'm showing you, so hopefully you'll like this card. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this card that we're making today. It is inspired by a card from the class that I went to with US demonstrators Kevin Thiessen and Scott Strathco. I think that's Strathco. Oh, I'm sorry, Scott, if you're watching. I need to know how to pronounce your surname. But anyway, Scott. So Scott has been a demonstrator for 20 years, or over 20 years. And Kevin was the first male demonstrator in for Stampin' Up. So they've been around a long, long time. Anyway, so we went to, the card I'm doing is inspired by one that we did at their class. And it was a no stamp class. We made 10 cards and had stuff left over from their class that and we didn't stamp a single thing. Oh, Scott and Kevin are both awesome. All right, so on your bigger piece of card base, this is clue number 3, I think, 4. You're going to concertina it. So you're going to fold it in half like this. Okay, then we're going to fold it back like this. Then we're going to fold it back like this. And we're going to fold it back like this. Now we did that, the cards we made was with the Memories and More card pack. So I based my US measurements on that. So if they're wrong, I apologize. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think it's really lovely. Like, there was one lady at backstage, and she had been a demonstrator for something like 34 years or something. So nearly been there. Yeah, it was just amazing. There was some there that were originals. So, all right. So we've got our little card base. Now we're going to take our first piece of designer series paper. Now make sure, so this concertina bit is your front, right? So, and you're going to see this pattern paper from the front. So if you're crafting along, just tell me. I shared this in all sorts of places, so people might think that I can see them, but I actually can't, and I'm sorry about that. Now, I can grab some glue. I feel like I should be like singing Rainbow Connection like Kermit the Frog or something like that. It's fun. Speaking of Kermit the Frog, it's really funny. One of my friends, he actually plays the piano at the Greenbank RSL every week. And I've known him for about 20-something years, 25 years. And when he started performing, he's a brilliant piano player, but not so brilliant singer. He's okay, but not brilliant. But he's entertaining. And he said when he started singing, he sounded like Kermit the Frog. So every time I think about that I sound like Kermit the Frog when I've got a croaky voice, I think of him. So, yes. He's very entertaining, but he's not Andre Bocelli, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so we've stuck our first piece of pattern paper down. So this is quite an easy card. So we're going to take this other piece that we folded and we're going to have, so it's this way, right? We're going to grab our other piece of pattern paper and we're going to stick that on. Yeah. So, has everyone missed me while I've been away? You know, I've missed all of you guys. But I hope that you didn't get too bored with all my Facebook posts from backstage. But it's like going to a backstage event. It's like going to a rock concert, you know. So everyone's there and the energy in the room is just amazing because they're happy to be there. They've travelled all this way. They're with their friends and there's so much love and positivity, and I just think the energy is really electric, and I think that's the only way I can describe it, is that it's like a rock concert. Okay, so we've stuck this piece on the front. I'm just going to open it out and we should have another piece about the right size. About that size, yes. And we're going to stick that there. All right. Okay. Now, I must say that I actually didn't, at the class that I did with Kevin and Scott that I mentioned before, I didn't actually finish the cards completely because I didn't stick all the bling on, because I didn't know whether or not the bling would hold up on the journey home. Okay, so you've got this bit here and you've got the front bit of our card. What we need to do, which we didn't do before, is we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So we've got this bit. We've got our second bit of vanilla, which is the same size as that, and then a smaller bit of vanilla, all white, okay? And let me just grab my blocks. Okay. So can anyone guess how this is going to come together, or are you just... Jodie, you're really quiet this morning. I can't see any comments from you, and you are usually my lady who comments lots, so you hope you're okay. Okay. We need some blocks for stamping, and we're going to do all our stamping right now. So I've got my blocks. I don't know quite one. Now, just make sure when you're using your blocks that you don't have a block that's way too big for your stamp, all right? Because you're going to get that shadowing and stuff. So I'm using my Gone Fishing set. And, oh, I didn't bring my piercing mat up. Well, not the one that I want to use. So I'm going to use the bit of foam that is in my ink, my block storage container. It works well. Okay. All right, let's see. So first off, we're going to find our little salt and pepper stamps. I am going to just use my float stamp. Okay, I could use fish, I could use anything, but I'm just using a float outline stamp. All right. Okay, and I'm going to use some Misty Moonlight. So I'm using Misty Moonlight and Boho Blue are my two main colours for my thing. I was just talking about you, Jodie, that you were watching and then you weren't. So hope you're okay. So I'm just going to grab my salt and pepper stamp, as I called it before, and just do some little backgrounds. Just randomly. You're probably thinking, Chrissy, that is not random at all. And I don't want to get ink on that, so I'll just put that underneath. That is not random at all, Chrissy. That looks very precise. Yeah, you're probably right. And I don't need to worry too much about the middle. I'll make it a bit more random. How's that? Way too much ink on there. Whoops, stuffed that up. It's the first time I've stamped since I've been home, so... Oh, you're wrapping your granddaughter's birthday presents up? Oh, how cool is that, Jodie? But I'm glad you're doing that while you're watching me. Okay. Did anyone grab a mimosa this morning? I said on my thing you can grab a cuppa or a mimosa or... I would just be interested to see... Oh, Bloody Mary, that'd be good. No. I'd be interested to see if someone did buy a mimosa or drink a mimosa while they're watching me. You'd be a girl after my own heart or a man after my own heart. Okay. So, oops. Oh, dodgy stamping. Doesn't matter. Ah, yes, I do, Jodie. Kermit the Frog. And, yeah, I do wish I had a mimosa too. Goodness. That'd be a lovely way to start the morning. Actually, one of my closest friends is over from New Zealand. She arrived Wednesday, when we got home Wednesday. And she's up near Noosa. And she sent me a message asking if we'd be having cocktails this morning, like brunch and mimosas. So, sadly, no. All right. Okay, so next up, we're going to take our smaller piece. Now, this is your piece that goes on the front of your card. Now, this is this is the smaller of the two vanilla pieces. So this is a nice one to have a nice big sentiment on. I am going to not put as big a sentiment as I originally planned, but I am going to put a yes, I don't know, Jodie, if I'll actually get to see her. She's only here for 2 weeks, and Steve's dad is over from New Zealand, and he's coming to stay with us next week. And Steve goes back to work on Monday. All right, so I don't know that I'll get to see her in the 10 days or 14 days that she's here. I'm going to try. Okay. So, I'm just going to put Happy Father's Day on the front. I'll try and get it as straight as I can. Hopefully you can't see the top of my head. And if it's not straight, it's a magical other side that I can... Ah, that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that one. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear you're not fully well yet, Jodie. Oh, hello, Glenda. Oh, no. Sorry you can't hear me. Oh. You're driving in the country. All right, so that's going to be on our front. And we're going to take, our next clue is our next bigger piece of white. And I am going to put this on. My dad is currently away fishing. He goes up to Burham Heads. They went at the beginning of June while we were on our road trip to South Australia. And then they come home the Saturday before the school holidays start in Queensland. So I think in about 2 weeks. And I must say, I miss my mum and dad. I try and talk to my mum every day. And I only talk to my dad if he accidentally answers the phone. He tries to avoid answering the phone. But some days he'll answer it and he's really chatty. But he's been away fishing and at Burham Heads and he just loves it. And I'm not sure, they were talking about this might be their last time going up there because they're not as young as they used to be, unfortunately. But they're still pretty good for 88 and 86, I think they are. All right, so that's my second piece that I've stamped. Now we're up to, oh, hi, Kylie. Lovely to hear from you or see you. So our next one we're going to do is, remember I said you needed some scraps. So we're just going to stamp those little scraps. And I will die cut them. So I'm going to do a couple. I'm going to do a float. Excuse me. And I'm using the same colours that are in my paper, a nice fishy paper. Kylie, I thought this paper, when I saw it, would be great for your boys that love fishing. Oh, it's just fabulous. And they would love this stamp set. Okay, I'm going to grab some boho blue. So this, as I said, this mystery stamping today is a lot different to normal because of technology issues. So I'm just going to put this boho blue on and oops, I might have to fussy cut that one. Let's try again. Let's put it there. Grab my other one back out. Good thing I didn't try and do this directly on the card. Yeah. So what's everyone been up to? Has it been good weather for the last couple of weeks? Someone told me it had been really cold. And I'm talking to the Queenslanders here. That's a bit better. Oh, that looks fabulous. Okay. Let's see, what else could we put on here? Let's put another lure on here. Or a fish hook and a... Oh, you had storms this week. Yeah, well, there was a storm Wednesday night, I think, when we got home. And how are you, Kylie? Are you well? I hope so. I'm going to bring in a different colour. I'm going to bring in Night of Navy here. And just stamp that really quickly. Down here. My Night of Navy does need re-inking desperately, but that's quite okay. So this is our fish hook with a lorry thing on it. You got a promotion. That's fabulous. Hello, Miss Kim. I thought you might have slept in. Oh, got distracted. Oh dear. Distractions, distractions. Okay, let's just stamp my... Oh, congratulations on the promotion, Kylie. That's fabulous. Yeah, I'm glad they see your worth. I did that one wrong too. Let's just redo that. I think for me, stamping a solid bit first works so much better. Okay. We're going to do that Night of Navy. Now I'm just going to bring it. Hopefully you don't get a head view. I haven't even brushed my hair. Well, the reason I haven't brushed my hair is because I'm washing the hairbrushes. So if anyone sees me today, I'm going to be messy. I'm not intending to see anyone, really. I'm intending to stay home and maybe a little later go and have a look at River Fire, but maybe not. Okay. And we need one more piece because you need 3 elements. So I'm thinking a little fishy lure, maybe. Let's see if I can do this. A little fishy lure. And we're going to stamp the background with the boho blue. And it's got some stripes. Now let's see if I can get this one right. Boho blue. Is anyone else? The best place to see River Fire is at home. Oh, Kim, you're gonna... Yeah, I think a lot of the time it is. When my niece took my great niece to River Fire when she was little, and someone tried to grab her and grab my great niece and kidnap her because of the crowds, and they were very, very lucky and they caught the guy that did it, but that was a bit terrifying for her. Let's see if I got it right this time. Oh, that's not right. Let us stamp that off there. Let's try this again. Oh, that ink pad is so super, super juicy. It is super, super juicy. I'm just going to blot some of it. Look at how juicy it is. It's like, It was pretty crazy. And they said lots of kids go missing from River Fire because they get caught up in the crowd and people just assume that they're with their parents. So I'm going to stamp this one off and then try and... It's still really juicy. Try again. Stamp it off. So this is the boho blue. Let's see. I don't want it too dark. Yeah. No, sorry, this is the Misty Moonlight. Yeah. But anyway, they were really lucky, and some people saw what was happening and they helped, and Ava was safe, but my niece was fairly traumatised, as she would be. So they don't go to River Fire anymore. So, but yeah, apparently it's quite common. They lose quite a few children at River Fire to strangers. But I guess that's like any big crowd of people, really. Exhibition they used to as well. So, all right. So we've stamped these. It took way longer to stamp than I planned, but they're stamped enough for me to be sort of happy with it. Excuse me, my Kermit the Frog impersonation. And no, I'm not going to start singing Rainbow Connection. Poor Shani had to put up with me singing the Beatles in Las Vegas because we went to the Beatles Love Show, Cirque du Soleil, and I was very, very croaky. But hey, just because I can't sing doesn't mean I won't sing, you know. I'm just going to grab out my little things that I need to cut with. So I've got 3 things to cut here. Oh, she did. She did. I don't think I stopped smiling the entire show. And because my last year of music at high school, we did a lot of stuff about the Beatles. So I think I only did music to year 10. So it was really nice to remember all of those old songs. Yeah, and they did it so well. But there were performers that obviously had tested positive for COVID, so they were performing with masks on. So they were positive but weren't sick, if that makes any sense. And so they were performing the show with their masks on. And I thought that was a bit full on. Now I can't find my scissors, so I'm just going to tear that scrap off. I got ink all over my hands. Goodness, I'm out of practice with not being inky. Yeah. So it was so wonderful to be able to travel and get some inspiration, and I'm just refocused because I don't know about you, but sometimes when you are doing something for a long time, you get a bit, even though you love it and you love the creating and the creating and the meeting people and being with people, doing what you love, you sometimes get a bit despondent about little things that really you shouldn't be worried about. And you need something to fill your cup. No, they, Jodie, just because people test positive for COVID doesn't mean that they're actually sick. And, like, if they don't perform, they don't get paid. And so they don't have sick leave like what we do. So those performers had their masks on while they were performing. They weren't sick. They may have had to have a couple of days off, but they and they were amazing. Like, they were so good. And roller skates going up and down, and it's just fabulous. So, and you've got to remember that the US laws are different to Australian laws. So they weren't anywhere near the audience. They were just near each other who were performing. So, yeah. Yeah. I know, Jodie. I worked in health for a long time too, so I do know. But that's the way that they work there, so I can understand. And sometimes you can't replace a performer, like if they've got a specific skill set. All right, so we've done all our stamping and our die cutting, and this is really disorganized today. All right, so let's start popping it together. The first thing we're going to do... Oh, hi, Kim. Hope you're well. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our... I'm going to add another bit to this. Did I say we had to have 2 of these? I'm going to add another bit. We can do this because I've got another scrap of designer series paper, which is the same size as this one. So, see, I'm winging it. Even in our mystery stamping, I'm winging it. How are you doing, Kim? Oh, I've been thinking about you and I have to come and visit you in town one day. I've got so much goss to catch up on. And how are that grandbaby of yours? The date of my retreat is a Saturday, Kim. It's just been changed to the 18th of November. And it's a 1-day card retreat. And we do 6 cards and a 3D project, or 3D or a off-the-page project. And I don't have the prices yet. That's being worked out. And the reason for that is, I'm going to cut this one smaller. The reason for that is that we have to just finish costing a few things. And the reason it was changed is because our hall is being used for the referendum, which was a couple of weeks earlier. But because of that, they needed to shuffle people around, and we wanted to help them out. So that's why we're doing it. So now this is an optional thing. You can cut this one down a bit smaller. You don't have to, all right? Yeah. Yes, I'd love to come and see you in town, Kim. I'm aiming for this month. How's that? After Steve's dad goes back to New Zealand, and yeah, I'm aiming for it. So you have to message me and tell me the best day. And we can either do lunch or drinks after work. Or drinks and tappers after work, because I need to eat. All right. So I've just added that little bit of extra designer series paper on, just because I can. All right. And we're going to stick this one here on the front. Okay. Wednesdays are also great. All right. Let me check my diary and see what's happening. Yeah, I think Steve's dad goes back. He arrives here next Friday and then goes back the following week sometime. Okay, because he arrived in Australia also the day that we came home, or the day before we came home, but went up and saw Steve's niece. So, yeah. All right. So we've got our front bit. So we've stamped. We've stuck our designer series paper, and we've scored and concertinaed. Now this bit here. Oh, we'll put this bit on first. All right. Oh, you wanted me to tell you a good story about Las Vegas. Oh, I told this on my personal Facebook page, but I can tell it on I can tell you guys. So Sunday night, we're walking down Las Vegas Boulevard, and I'm walking along with, so Steve's in front of us, ages away in front of us, looking for a good photo spot, or a spot to take a photo from. And Stephanie, the crafty medic from Canada, she is in front of me, and I'm walking beside her lovely husband, Julian. Now, Julian is delightful, but it was the first time that I had met him, okay? And I had said to Stephanie, look, because he goes, I don't know these people, and, you know, and I'd said to Stephanie, if he doesn't want to talk to us, that's okay. He can just come to the strip. He can he can wander off and do what he wants. He doesn't have to have a conversation with us. Like, just use us for our car, because we were staying 35 minutes from the strip. Okay, so we're walking along, and I've got this really pretty dress on, which I usually wear with my bike shorts. And I, I didn't see there was a grate on the ground. So I walked over the grate. And so my dress goes flying up in the air, but not just a little bit. It flies up so much that it's up around my armpits. And so I'm thinking, oh, thank God I've got my new Victoria's Secret underwear on. Oh, thank goodness it's not creeping up. And all these thoughts are going through my head, and like, oh, I'm feeling like I was mortified, and I'm struggling to get my dress down from underneath my armpits, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe no one saw. And Justin goes, ooh. And yeah, it was like Marilyn Monroe, but a lot less discreet. So, like, you could literally see my bra because my dress went straight up. It was just mortifying. And anyway, I was trying to think, hoping that, and then I'm thinking, what if someone videos it and it's on YouTube? And it was just awful. And so, because Steve was so far in front, he didn't see anything. But it was just this really, really funny story. And I think that that's hilarious. And the people behind me all went, woo! And I'm like, oh no, the ground should open up and swallow me. But what a way to make a first impression on poor Julian, okay, and Stephanie. So that was my funny story. Yeah, it was just mortifying. And my girlfriend, who's over from New Zealand, she said a similar thing happened to her. But she, and I said, oh, thank goodness you weren't like your husband and going commando. And she goes, well, almost, because she had a G-string on. At least my brand new Victoria's Secret undies were bikini briefs, not a G-string. So, and then I was also thinking about, oh, thank goodness it didn't happen 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, because we used to often, if you had a slinky dress on, you went out without any undies on, because they were, you didn't want to have a visible panty line, you know, because that was the thing. So, yes, thank goodness it wasn't then. That would have been scary for everybody. Yeah, and Steve missed the whole thing. All right, so you'll see here I've put some tear and tape on the inside, on the back of the thing. All right, so yes, we're just going to sit this on top of your piece of blue that's on the inside with the tape facing up, okay? So this is another reason why we're not doing it, the mystery stamping, the way we normally do. Okay, so now you'll see I've got my Happy Father's Day on the front. I've got this. So then we're going to fold this and we're going to get another piece of tear and tape, right? Do you like that story, Kim? It was funny, it was hilarious, but it took me a few days to realise it was hilarious. And I'm just glad that poor Julian wasn't walking behind me. But then I saw on the, like, because they have all these girls dressed up like showgirls. They're a bit, some of them are a bit scammy. They encourage you to take a photo with them, and then they want to charge you $20. And a couple of them I saw, I went, oh, well, at least I have less cellulite than them. And I must say, and it's going to sound catty, my legs looked pretty good, and it looked better than some of those Vegas showgirls. So I was pretty pleased with that. So we put another bit of tear and tape. So we attach this to the front like that. Okay. So when it opens, it's like it's a funny sort of a fold. I don't even know what we can call it. I'll show you the other one that we did. Mine is that doesn't have the bling on it yet. Okay. All right. That's a great but horrifying story. Yeah, you got to be able to laugh at yourself, Kim. I am very, very self-conscious, and I am really worried about how I look, and that's partly because of the era that I grew up with, and my mum was always very much, you don't leave your house without lipstick, you always look good, and because she's 1950s and 60s generation. And anyway, so I am very, very, I get very, very self-conscious. So I've had to really learn how to laugh at myself. And that was one of the occasions that you have to laugh at yourself, or else you will just cry, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm just putting my little last bits of stamped images on. So as I said, this is completely different to a normal mystery stamping because of printer issues. Yeah. Well, Steve actually had to even do a run to the shop to get printer paper. I don't know that it is easier to laugh at yourself as you get older, Kim. I really don't know. Kim Heath, yeah, I don't know, because some people can't. All right, so this is my little... But anyway, I do love that story, and it's mortifying, but it's also a little bit funny. I'm just trying to find where I should put that. I'm going to put it where I originally thought and put it here. Okay. Now we need some bling. That's our next step. Let's see. We've got some... Let's see if we can find some boho blue bling. We've got some here. Yeah. There is so much bling coming in the new catalogue, Jodie. I love bling. I love bling. So we're going to put some bling in the corners. Move that over. You like my bling folder? I'll tell you about my bling folder at the end, Kim, if you don't mind. All right. I'm going to put some... So I am putting 3 pieces of bling on. I don't know. Okay, so we've got those. Now, I want it to be a bit more, for me, a bit more interactive. So I've got a piece of, this is the In Colour boho ribbon. So I'm just going to cut a bit off. Now, the bling that I am using is the In Colour dots, 2023-2025 In Colour dots. Thank you. Right, so what I'm going to do is just down one side of my ribbon, just going to cut the edge off. And this should work. It used to work. And I'm just going to sort of fray it a bit. I'm going to fray lots of it. And I cut that edge off because it just makes it easier to fray. And I make more of a mess in Steve's office. He's looking forward to going back to work next week, I think, because he got a bit freaked out by the whole exchange rate. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to cut it along that edge on the other side as well. I hope you can see this. Yeah, and so this is the In Colour ribbon. I'm just fraying it, taking those bits off. So it's a bit fluffy. Right, so it's nice because it gets nice and fluffy. And because you know how when you have fishing lures, they, well, I don't know if you do, Kylie would know. Let's turn it around the other side and do the same thing. When you have fishing lures, like some of them have feathers and stuff on it. So this is like how you would make a feathery effect with your ribbon. Because I think if I had to put a bow on it, it would just be too, what's the word? Too solid and too much. So I want to put a bit of, this Steve's going to love that. I'll clean it up before he comes back into his office. And well, we share an office, but clean it up before he comes back in. He's a good man. Bless you, Steve. He just sneezed again. Okay. I forgot to shut the door to the craft room today, the studio today. So, okay, so when you fold it in half, you've got this nice little blingy bit. I'll just get rid of that scrappy bits. And I'm just going to, I've got a piece of linen thread. Do I have glue dots? I did have glue dots. What? I've got glue dots? No, he doesn't have a cold. But he had a dermatitis thingy before we went away. And it really got very irritated while we were away. But he can't... And they'd done swabs on it and everything, and I keep telling him he was just like, he had cooties because he had, his whole face looked like he was sunburned for 2 weeks. There's the difference in water and all of that, and the doctors gave him something for it that actually made it way worse. And so we have to, he has to wait to get another swab. But it like blistered. It was really icky and disgusting. And I'm like, stay away from me. No, I'm not going to touch you. Not going to kiss you if you've got that on your face. No, not really. Yeah, anyway, poor guy. Because they'd blister and then the blisters would pop and they'd bleed. And it was just really uncomfortable for him, but there was nothing we could do about it. So, okay. So I'm just going to wrap a bit of the linen thread around it. And I'm out of practice with bow tying, so forgive me for not being an expert bow tyer today. Oh, my hands are all shaky. And forgive me for it taking a bit longer today. So, yeah. But I must tell you, I'm a bit over doing rat tests. Because I did them when I got sick. I got sick in Moab, which was the Saturday before the conference. So I did them every day to try and make sure that I wasn't going to have COVID and pass it on. And oh, let's try that bow again. Yeah, but yeah, they don't know what it is. So now he's come home. I've made him stop using the stuff the doctor gave him because it looks like a fire engine and it's not helping. So we'll just see what happens. So we're just trying this little bow here, right? I'm chatting away to you. So I'm going to pop that behind this one. So I need a couple of glue dots to just hold it in place. Now, if you had some Wink of Stella, you could put that on as well. So it's like a little lure or a fly. That's what it is. It's like a fly and the fly fishing. You were right, Kim Heath. Yeah. Okay. So, that is, let's find my Wink of Stella. I do have some right here. Oh, I'm very, very, it looked like Rotisarm. Oh, I don't know what it was, but it was pretty disgusting anyway. And because it gets itchy and you think, oh, now, remember when you get a new Wink of Stella, just take the little black bit off before you use it because it doesn't work real well if you don't. Just saying. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of, whoops, that came out a bit fast. I'll just soak that up. Oh, goodness. A bit of Wink of Stella on our fishy things. So you'll have to, So Jody, you'll have to send me a link and tell me what that thing is that you mentioned. Okay, so let's have a look at our card. Now it's finished and I've rattled on. Now, I was supposed to have a class this afternoon, but given that I'm snuffly, we're delaying that and we're doing it during the week. Oh, I could do some splatter. All right, Kim, because you asked for it. We'll do some splatter as well. So to do your Wink of Stella splatter, you just squeeze a bit into the lid and just flick it on. Flick it all over and get it all over your workspace too. Why not? There we go. Is that, you happy now, Kim? And just wipe it off the workspace. All right, so this is a card that we've made today with our mystery stamp and clues, which ended up just being a craft along. And so it opens like that. So you've got a piece to write on. You've got, and you could put, well, it needs, I think it needs a stamp there, but we might do that. Now this is the card that this was inspired by, and this is from the Memories and More class. Now I haven't decorated it with the bling. Oh, Kylie, I get all over myself. Look at my hands. Like, first time I've touched ink in 3 weeks. And look, they've got ink everywhere. So this is a card that it was inspired by. So Memories and More. This is made with Memories and More note cards and envelopes. These are from the annual catalogue. And so the whole class we did was a no stamp card. Anyway, so I'm not sure if this was Scott's or Kevin's card because it was a self-paced class. So they've turned the Memories and More card inside out. And then, again, like we did here, they've scored it. They then took a Memories and More card, like they have a separate card pack, scored it in half, and then folded it. So you've actually got a pattern on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, yes, I did this in America. Kim, on the Friday night, Shani and I spent time with Kevin Thiessen, Scott Stratco. There was a lovely lady called Janice who was with us. We sat with Janice, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember her friend's name. We sat with them during the day. Then the lovely Anne Clemmer, who is Stamp a Dog. Yeah, I've been following her on YouTube for years, and I met her in Orlando, and she was there, and she's such a lovely lady. So yeah, and so then they used another Memories and More card. Let me just show you where this is in the catalogue so you can see. Whoops. So we did 10 cards. We had part of the pack cut out, left over. Memories and More. Okay, so these were using the Beautiful and Bright Memories and More cards and envelopes, and the Beautiful and Bright Memories and More card pack and stickers, right? So it was a fabulous, fabulous no stamp class. I just loved it. So that's what we used. And so that's from the card pack, and that's from the card pack, and that bit's from the card pack, and that's the base card. So we made 10 cards and envelopes. And so that's what I based my US measurements on. So if they're wrong, my American friends, I'm so sorry. And it's such a nice card. And look, what I would do is I would put something heavy on it for a little while, and then we could go from there. Okay, Joni wants to see our bling folder, and so did Kim. All right. On the same page as the Memories and More cards is the Memories and More albums. All right. Now I could have gone out or could have gone it through my stash or my stationery cupboard and found a folder and blah blah blah. But the folder that I had, it didn't have the whole spacing wasn't right. So I used this 6x8 Memories and More album. All right, so if you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator, if you buy that, you get the commission from it. It goes towards your sales. All right, so that's what I used. Then on Amazon, and I got these in the Black Friday sales to make them cheaper. So the Black Friday sales is coming up in November. I got these fabulous little zippy pouches. And so because, I tried doing it in a ring binder, but then you'd have to punch another hole in it, and it just didn't work. So, and because this is a bit thicker, I have every embellishment from the annual catalogue in here. All right. And so these little zippy folders, they keep them from falling out. It sits on the shelf. They're always, you can pick it up, take it into another room. So I've got every annual catalogue in this one. I also, in the back of it, have put the embellishments that go in the packs and the shaker thing. And I do have a retired one, which are the googly eyes in there. So it's a really practical way for you to have your, put that back in there, for you to keep all your embellishments in the one place. They don't fall off, and you keep your little pieces of cardboard, because they've got the item number on the back, so you keep those. What I have done is I've taken them all out of the plastic. Some of them, like a couple of them, you might just have to trim a piece of the cardboard off on each side. I think I did that with this one. I had to trim a little piece off so it would fit, but it fits really well. It works well for me, and I just pop it up on the shelf. And if you've only got one pack, it obviously folds a bit better, but like I've got 2 packs of a few of them. So, and then I've just put a little label on the front. So it's a really good, quick way. Now, if anyone wants that link of where I got them from on Amazon, I can send it. I can put it in the comments. I just do know that it was better to do it that way. Oh, I've got 2, Jodie. You could use a ribbon, and you could decorate the front too. Yes, Jodie, I have 2. I have one for the annual catalogue. I've got one, actually I've got 3. One for the annual catalogue, one for the current mini, and one for the retired ones, and ones that come in kits and stuff like that, because the kit ones, you never use all of the kit embellishments. They always give you too many, so you can use those. Okay, so let's just recap what I used today. Now, Kylie, I think that you need this for the boys. All right. So I used a Gone Fishing suite, actually. So let's have a look. I'll find that in here. How about I look at the index at the front? How about we look on the right page? The suites, the Gone Fishing suite. Let's go Fishing suite. It's on page 78, 79. Now, did everybody get their mini catalogue in the mail? I haven't heard. All right, so this is fabulous. So if you get the suite, you get the embossing folder, you get the paper, you get the stamp set, and the bundle. Now, the bundle, the dies are... Oh, you got your catalogue, Kylie? Fabulous. They've got this little tackle box in it, right? So this is just super, super cute. Now, the tackle box is, you can see, it's a little bit wider than the Aussie card fronts, but I don't think that matters. I think if you trim it down, you'll be fine. And then you've got this little piece that fits inside. Now, the reason I love this and I'm doing a little bit of a sales pitch, sorry, is if you cut off those tabs just straight, it's a perfect little frame. So if we just cover those up, you've got this really great frame to use. Yes, I will, Jodie, I'll put it in the comments and I'll send it to you. Okay, really, really great frame to use. And I know I'm really over time and half hour over time. I'm so sorry about that. Really, really great frame to use for your, you could put flowers in it, you could put anything in it. So I think outside the square, this little die here, which is the float die, you can use this as Christmas baubles, all right? So don't think that if you're going to get this die set, you just have to use it for fishing, all right? So just think about that when you're looking at it, and trust me, all right? I'll just pop them all back in here. I'll fix it up later. So anyway, that is our mystery stamping. Oh, do you want to see the rest of the paper, Kylie? Let me show you. I'm not into some of these colours, like the wild wheat. It's an interesting colour for me. Now this one has got little lures on it, but the other side is fabulous. Great for masculine cards. You could use this for Christmas cards. Stripes are great for Christmas, non-traditional Christmas cards. And this one, we've got some bright coloured fish, but the other side is that buffalo check. Love, love, love that. All right, oh, so this one is the Christmas card one. Now then we've got some coloured lures. Right. The other side of that one, again, is like a plaid, maybe, but a check. All right. It would be fabulous for scrapbooking. Then we've got some water. And then on the other side of that, now I love this, you've got like a map. So I'm going to do a bit of a scrapbook page. Well, now I've said it, I was considering doing a scrapbook page, which I haven't done one for a long time, using that paper as my background. And we've got this one, which is a fishing net. But still, I don't think you have to use it as a fishing net. You could use it as, like, I just think it's a really cute background. And then this one is the fishing rods and the wild wheat colour, which isn't my favourite. And then this one is the one that I used today with the, put it like that, with the fish on one side. Now, I love this. It's sort of like a denim background, but it's a denim wood background. I could use the net girls for the dance girls in Vegas, but I didn't actually take photos of them because my husband and I didn't want to pay for a photo. So anyway, it was all right. So there we go. So we've got that's what I used today. Now, if you buy it as a suite, you get the bundled saving on the stamp set and you get the paper and so the embossing folder, I find that really interesting. I think that it is like it's supposed to be like rope, but I think you could make it into anything. It could be like a wool woven sweater or carpet or anything. Like carpet was a bit of a random thing to say, but there you go. So what I do, I want to show you one last thing before I go. Now, when you go to an event, sometimes you make swaps, or sometimes the people that you sit with at the table, they do table gifts, so you do a gift for everybody at the table, or sometimes if you've got a roommate, you do a gift for them. Now, I was really lucky because we didn't do, well, I did a pillow gift for a couple of people. I didn't have roommates, so I had Steve. So, but I got this fabulous gift from my dear friend Shani. So, this is, and I have to put photos up of it. I'll just move that out of the way. So this is one of the stamping pierce mats, right, from the annual catalogue, and Shani got one of our friends to laser engrave it with the Welcome to Backstage Vegas 2023. She's so organised. And then she made this lovely little belly band for it. And then on the back, she printed out a lovely little saying, and it said, "I'm so excited to be in Las Vegas for the Backstage event. To look forward to learning some inspiration, but best of all, to spend some time with you. Hope you have a blast. Hugs, Shani." So that's part of the gift that she gave me. So she was super organised. She then got these lovely little things printed with the Backstage keyring things. She then got, now this is super, super cute. She did these great little guitars. And she put the same message on the back of those. Now, this is so, so cute. This is, yes, Kyla, it is all about the legs. So this is, I'm going to hope that I can get it off for that. This is a USB drive. How cute is that? So it's in the shape of the guitar, which on the strip there's a guitar, and again this is a keyring. So how super, super cute is that? And lastly, this is lovely. She got me this little necklace. Now, this is a pair of scissors. Actually, I'm not going to open it because I don't want to. And so they're a little pair of scissors that open and close. So how cool are those? They're so sweet. So that's, I'm just so lucky that she also, when we went Halloween shopping, because you have to go Halloween shopping. And if Adelaide people, if you are going to Shani's Halloween event, oh my goodness, be prepared to be amazed. It is going to be awesome. And the decorations are going to be great. Just be prepared for that, because we did some serious Halloween shopping. We would have done more if we had more suitcases, but yes. All right, so that was my pillow gift. Now on Tuesday night, Tuesday Night Lights is back. Just a reminder for anyone who was going to come to the class this afternoon, it's not happening because I'm not showing my germs. Hope you all have a fabulous weekend. Sorry I went on, raved on for an hour and a half. Oh my goodness. Anyway, have a fabulous time, a fabulous weekend. Stay safe and well, and I shall see you on Tuesday night for Tuesday Night Lights. Until next time, bye for now, and happy creating.